Oh.
Hey guys, sorry about that. We are back, obviously, for the Stone Off last event of the heats. We have 5 athletes that are in the final already.
Yes, we do.
Just give us a quick rundown, Auntie Liz.
Okay, so well, what I did, because gone are the days of the fancy graphics, we're getting tired now. I literally just swiped these from Strongman archives. Hey, there's group one. So as you can see, Tristan Hoth has qualified his first time at the World's Strongest
He
Man.
has been unbelievable, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been absolutely brilliant. And in the Stone Off, we are going to have Eddie Williams and Luke Stoltman.
And do you know what? The Stone Off makes perfect sense for this group. We have 2 athletes tied on points.
Yeah.
Finally, the Stone Off makes sense.
Yeah. In this respect,
Scenario.
it does make sense. Yes, but of course, Luke is going to have the disadvantage of having to go first because even though they're tied on points, he was behind Eddie on the car walk. So in group number 2, then. This was won by Mitchell Hooper, and we are going to have Andre Foitu and Austin Andrade in the Stone Off. Austin has the disadvantage of being in 3rd place, but this is the one that worries me. I don't know about you.
Well, I like both. So,
both.
Obviously, I wish them both the best. But yeah, there's a possibility that Austin could come back and get through.
So last year, the reason I say it worries me, last year, everyone who was in 2nd place going into the Stone Off went through to the final, and that advantage worked in their favour. I've got a feeling this year that's not going to be the case in some of these heats.
We will wait and see. We just got to wait and see.
In group number 3, this was won by Matt Ragg. Now, Adam Bishop, it's been confirmed he has unfortunately withdrawn from the competition. Really sad for Adam. He's come into this in such good shape.
This is the best shape I've seen Adam in so long. I mean, you can see from this graphic, he's still in 2nd place in the heat.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's had to pull out, which means Aivars will now go against Thomas Evans in the Stone Off.
So Aivars will have that 2nd place advantage, with Thomas Evans having to lift the stone first and Aivars returning it to him. Then in group number 4, that was comfortably won by Evan Singleton. Pablo Cordiaca is in 2nd place there, with Marcus Crowder at his first Worlds in 3rd place.
This has to be one of the most exciting groups in terms of everyone has been battling, and it was super close all the way through.
Yeah, there was only 3 points in the end between 6th place and 2nd place, so incredibly close in that group. These have been such competitive groups this year.
Yes, they really have.
I think they've actually really nailed it with the seeding and the spread and everything. Then Tom Stoltman won his group, so we're going to see Wesley Dawinski up against Yako Schoonwinkel in the Stone Off there. So that's going to be an interesting
one. So yeah, we've got 5 athletes that we know in the final. In Tristan, and then I'd say the 4 sort of big names that people were expecting: Tom Stoltman, Mitch Hooper, Matt Ragg, and Evan Singleton.
Yes.
And we're going to find out 5 more in the next hour or so.
Who is going to be joining them? It's very, very exciting. So just to quickly go through the rules of the Stone Off before they start. So there are 6 stones all laid out in a row with, what is it, a yoke? It's like a wooden platform.
Yeah, like a,
So the stones range in weight then. We've got a 140 kilo stone, 150, 160, 180, another 180, and then the final stone is 200 kilos. 3rd place is going to go first on the 140 stone. He has to lift it over. He's got 20 seconds to do it once the whistle blows, and then the other athlete has 20 seconds to return it. Then they move on to the next, right up to 200 kilos, and then they rep it back and forth until someone can't go any further. If 3rd place fails to lift the first stone, 4th place gets to jump in.
That's a weird rule to me.
I don't like it personally. I think if 3rd place can't lift it, 2nd place should automatically qualify. But here we are. Those are the rules. All the athletes know that. It was in the rules. So may the best stone lifter win, I guess.
Yeah, it's always a tough one, but this is where we're at. These are the rules. These are what the athletes were expecting. They've trained for it. Now it's about who wants it the most, who is going to dig the deepest, who can find that extra rep, and can someone come from behind and get through, or will the athletes in the leading position all go through, which is what happened last year.
Yeah, lots of people very sad for Bish in the comments.
Really sad. Yeah, Bish has just looked so good at this year's Worlds.
Yeah. was excited to see him on the deadlift in the final.
Yeah, that's someone that could have done amazingly on the deadlift.
Max height throw as well. Bish is
Good
a
thrower.
great thrower, yeah. Oh, hopefully the dog will settle down very soon. She's due. We, however, we brought out the energy drinks, Lazzy.
I know.
The big boys.
We've gone for some energy drinks for this one to bring some
Energy.
much needed energy back into this.
Oh dear. Where are we? I guess people are predicting who's going to win. Yeah. So after this, we are going to film another quick recap, and we're going to add on to that our predictions for the final once we know who is in the
who's
final.
in the final. Yeah, you can't predict the final until you know who's in there.
Yeah. But it's very exciting. This is going to be a great final. We know already that we've got new people in there. Tristan's definitely in, and there's a good chance there's going to be a few other newbies as well. There we go. Oh no, the dog has started early. Does she want to come up? Oh, she's in between my legs. Okay. She's taking my shoe. She can have my shoe.
None of the stone offs have happened yet,
Hitching
so we
posts.
are waiting
Yes.
for them to start now. It looks like they're doing the TV links and stuff,
Yeah.
and it will be starting very shortly.
Sounds like Quinn is on the mic, which is usually the last thing before they get started. So he should be introducing the athletes in just a second.
They're hitching post, exactly.
Yeah, that's what we meant. Yeah, couldn't think of the word for it. So first up is going to be Luke Stockman and Eddie Williams. I think no matter what, this one's probably going to make me sad. Like,
yeah, you know, I know we've all got our favorites, but this is
this could be
I'm a big
battle.
fan and a friend of Luke Stockman, but I have been so impressed by Eddie Williams.
I have
And
too.
It's going to be sad to see either one of them, especially they are tied on points.
I know.
You know, this is
Couldn't be
where
closer.
the stone off makes sense in my kind of thought process. If athletes get to the end of the competition, they're tied. That's when you want to see something separate them. So best of luck to both. We wish you the best, and put on a performance, and the best man will get through.
I think this one could be a real slugfest, and I hope it's not so bad that it ruins whoever gets through for the final.
It's a real tough thing, because obviously you want to get to the final with as much energy as possible,
but you can't.
But for these guys now in a stone off, it's do or die.
Yeah.
You've got to give 100% if you want to get in there. You've got one day to try and recover.
But it's not a lot, is it?
No, those athletes that have already qualified in first place, they are going to be, enjoying watching these battles and hoping they have to just keep loading that stone back and forth.
Yeah. Well, we saw what it did to Brian last year in the final, and I remember
this super chat.
Okay, Christian, thank you. Greetings, listeners from Germany. To best information platform in Strongman. Thank you. If there ever was a World's Strongest Man live stream, would you nevertheless make live stream commenting and celebrating the event with us?
We would do a watch along party.
Yes.
So we've done that before with other events, and people have enjoyed it. So we would just be on watching an event. You guys watch it as well, and we're still in this community chatting about what's happening together. It's a fun place.
Then we'd have a real party, wouldn't
then it
we?
would be a real party for sure.
Oh man,
we wouldn't have to speculate about things. We can see what's happening.
We'd have no responsibilities to bring you the action. You'd be watching it yourself. It'd be great.
We'd just all be having fun and chatting in the comments.
Yeah, it would be great. Yes, Ivars is in the stone off, and Ivars is a great stone lifter. So as long as no mistakes there, hopefully he can get through his group. Let's go, Ivars. Of course, wouldn't be upset to see Thomas Evans in there either, because he's a great athlete, and I like Thomas as well. He's really lovely.
Absolutely.
How are you watching it? We're not. There is no live stream. We're getting information sent to us in a very timely fashion.
Yeah.
Luke says Julian. There's going to be lots of Stoltman fans in here.
There's going to be loads of Stoltman fans and lots of Eddie fans as well. I think he's picking up more and more fans. I'm an Eddie fan now. I'm someone that before this competition, I didn't think Eddie was going to make the final. I really didn't. I'll be honest, but I always say, I'll be the first person to congratulate someone when they perform well. And I've been very, very impressed. He's clearly put work in. Hello, you.
She's climbing the table now. Dwayne with the super chat. Thank you, Dwayne. If third can't lift the stone, then second place should be able to lift it and then win. Yeah, I agree.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think that would be fairer personally. The rules are the rules. Either way, Eddie should be super proud of his performance. Absolutely. And can definitely see him back next year. And excited to see him progress.
I think Eddie's down to do a few Giants lives as well, so we will see more of Eddie this year.
Yeah. Why is Luke always in a heartbreak stone off? It's true. Last year it was with Gav Bilton. We've seen him with Rob Kearney in the past.
Yeah.
It's always.
He's been in a few, hasn't he?
He
Lost out to
has.
Robert Oberst one year.
In a stone off.
I believe so.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, he's often in the stone off.
Just joining. Absolutely gutted for Bish. Was it his Achilles?
I don't know officially, but that sounds like what it was.
Yeah, it's what's being talked about online. Obviously,
Yeah.
we haven't spoken to Bish. We just wish him all the best because it's
Absolutely.
a terrible way to go out, no matter what the injury is, when he's been performing so well.
Yeah, I have messaged him, but
He's
I
going to
hope
be
he's
busy,
okay.
isn't he? Scotty, thank you for the super chat. Have World's Strongest Man ever approached you to do punditry?
We did talk to Worlds last year when someone else was working with them, and there was potential of something happening, but he has since left and no contact since. So
No contact at all. But it's fine. We're happy with you guys. We enjoy this, don't we?
Absolutely.
Oh, Booster Chicken's back in the chat, being controversial. Stoltman Brothers rule. God, I'm being silly. Okay, so they've still not started yet. Yeah, so Bish went down on the car walk for those that missed it earlier. Come on. And it was a great event for him usually. Like, it should have been a really good race between him and Matt Ragg. But unfortunately, it's part of the sport. Eddie has impressed me a lot. Didn't think he would do that well, said Marius. Rob, thank you for the super chat. There are no losers. Seeing Eddie or Luke go through is an amazing story for either athletes. Eddie's first final or Luke with Baby Koa and Cushy there. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm going to be so happy for whoever gets through because it is a great story nonetheless. It's just a shame. I would like looking at the stats for the overalls. Group 1, it was the group of death this year, even though I don't feel
They were
so
good
either.
Mixed groups.
Yeah, like
but
if
challenging for sure.
Yeah, and if we had that thing that we had in 2014 where there were 2 wild cards, one would have come from Group 1 presumably.
We'll have to check what the
we'll have a video on that tomorrow comparing the and seeing how
overall,
it would have
if
gone.
everyone
Yeah,
was competing.
that's it. I'll be super excited for any athlete that makes it. Go Luke, go. So still not started yet. Here we go. Here are the Stoltman fans out with the chilies.
Lots of Stoltman fans.
So does that mean if Thomas Evans can't lift the stone, 5th place gets a chance? Yes. That happened in 2019 in your group, I think. Was it your group? It has happened before though. Maybe 4th place qualified.
Are you on about the year that Evan
Kevin
Singleton tore his bicep?
I can't remember. Someone remind me. Someone will know what I'm talking about.
I remember when Evan tore his bicep and then Adam Bishop got through, didn't he?
Was that in 2020?
I can't remember. Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah. That might be what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I think
I was thinking Kevin Ferris was involved somehow, but maybe I'm wrong. Okay. Anyway.
So Bishop injured himself on the car walk, for those asking.
Yeah. Good evening all. We'll be at the North Somerset show on Monday. We will hopefully be sleeping in on Monday. No, we're not going to be there, unfortunately. How is Marcus Crowder on stone? So I checked him out. He didn't finish the stone run at OSG. So that's a 6 stone run. So it's challenging, but the heaviest stone there in the open weight men's was 193 kilos, and he didn't get it. But I can't remember the context of what was going on. Come do punditry for Nitro Circus. What's Nitro Circus?
I don't know. I mean, it's I guess some kind of is it some kind of computer?
That doesn't sound like it would be very well suited for us. Ooh,
I don't even know what it is, so that's how bad we'd be at it.
Yeah. Christ, what's that?
Oh, that looks cool.
A group of adrenaline junkies led by Travis Pastrana attempt death-defying stunts while traveling around the globe. Oh, we could do that.
That kind of looks fun.
Yeah, that sounds okay.
But only if there's a live stream.
Yeah. Who is Marcus up against in the stone off? He is going to be with Pavo Cordiaca, and he's going to have the disadvantage of being in 3rd place. But we'll see. Who knows?
Yeah.
you never know how it's going to go. We've seen some upsets before, haven't we?
Yes, yeah, very much so.
Has anything happened yet?
No.
No. Okay. Quinn is starting, and apparently he hasn't stopped. Now, there's a lot of stuff to do. There's like the TV links, there's the panning of the camera. Sometimes they send up the drone.
Sometimes,
yeah, it can take a little while to set up.
Can you read that one?
Once it gets started, it shouldn't be too bad. Marco, thank you for the super chat. Shout out to my mate and strongman, Tommy R of Elgin.
There we go.
Hello, Tommy R.
Thank you, Marco. 2020, Rick says. I think that was what you were thinking.
I was there. I think 2019 with Kevin. Couldn't lift the stone, so someone else stepped in. Oh, I'm going to have to go back and check. 2020, Liz. Okay. Yeah, it was when Kevin couldn't lift it. The Norwegian guy stepped in. He wasn't even ready, though, if I'm remembering correctly. He wasn't tackied up or anything. And they're like, where is he? And he's like, what?
Yeah. You'd be thinking, well, he's going to lift one. What's the point?
Yeah. Yeah, JF versus Kevin Ferris. Thank you. I knew you guys would know.
First two are walking out. So our first two are Luke and Eddie, right?
Luke and Eddie. Oh, my goodness.
Let's see what happens.
Tony, thank you for the super chat. What do you think makes Mitch Hooper such a great athlete? Is there anyone who could really stop him dominating for years?
There's always athletes that can stop people. There's so many great athletes, and you can stop yourself sometimes with injuries, etc. He's very competitive. He's naturally athletic. He's got a great athletic background in lots of different sports. What makes him different to genetics to a degree?
Work ethic.
Work ethic, yeah. He's tactical. I think that's important when it comes to sport. It's not just about being the strongest athlete. You have to figure out where you can pick up points and look at ways to improve things. He's not afraid to take risks at times. But like, there's so many great athletes. It's not just Mitch. And I love Mitch. He's obviously a great friend of mine. And, coaching him is a privilege. It's an honor to sort of help him in some small way. But he's a fantastic athlete. But there are other fantastic athletes. I've met so many freaky, unbelievable athletes over the years. Mitch is a good competitor. That's probably where he separates himself from some of the guys. Like, he just wants to win so bad. He hates losing. It's probably what makes it.
He really hates losing.
Yeah.
God, we've had to spend some time with him in days following a loss.
One of the best things what I do with Mitch is just either say I've done something or I'll say someone will beat you.
Yeah.
And I do it on purpose now. I'm like, this guy thinks he's going to get 10 reps. And Mitch will be like, I'll do 11.
It's very easy to motivate me.
Yeah.
So they're starting. We'll hopefully hear a bit of a play-by-play.
Yeah, so the first stone is 140, is it?
Yes.
So they'll go through the stone series. The 140 will be lifted
over
by Luke, and then Eddie will lift it back, and then they'll go to the 160.
Yeah, and then 150.
Okay, then it's like 160,
Yeah.
then 180, I think, is the next one.
Yeah, then 180 again.
200 kilo stone, and then if they get to the 200 kilo stone, they both lift it back and forth as many times as possible.
So they've both lifted the 140 stone, moving on to the 150. Pablo, thank you so much for gifting 20 memberships. That's really, really kind and generous.
Very
thank
much.
you. Luke has lifted the 150 stone. So they've got 20 seconds to return it once it hits the ground.
Yeah. This is the worst bit now.
Yeah, the rating.
Absolute worst bit. This is where it would be good to be able to see something going on.
Eddie returned 3. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think they've done the 160 stone. They're on to the 4th, which weighs 180.
Indeed, Jiminy Crickets. We all love that roar that we get from Luke Stoltman.
Yeah. They're on to number 5, which also weighs 180 kilos.
It's 6 stones, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I expect these two to get to the 200, definitely.
Yeah.
And it's how many times can they keep lifting that 200 kilo stone? 440 pounds for anyone that wants it in pounds.
Thank you, Spencer. Love watching with you all. I just started competing this year. Quick question. How do you keep your composure when another athlete gets hurt?
I've just learned over the years to accept it's part of the sport. It's very harsh, especially when you see friends get hurt. Oh, you've got to go out there next. But I guess from experiencing injuries myself and being able to come back from them, I appreciate that it's part of what we do, and you can return, and often guys return better.
Both have done one on the 200 kilo stone, just to update you.
So yeah, it's never nice to see. Nobody likes to see anyone get hurt.
2 reps each.
But it's just something that you have to cope with.
Yeah. So that's lift number 7 for these guys. On to lift number 8 now. The most we've ever seen is 11, I think.
11 in total. Not
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Not just on that
so
last
I think it
one.
was 7 on the.
So they've done 3 each now. Luke has to lift it again for the 4th time. Oh, man. It's rough, isn't it? Luke, go. What does that mean? Luke got it, I imagine.
Or Luke good, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. There's a super chat right under that one. From some random.
Thank you very much. As an Aussie, I'm hoping Eddie gets through, but I can never be upset for Luke getting through. Yeah. Exactly. These are the kind of feelings we have right now.
It's very conflicting. Yeah.
They're both great guys.
Yeah. Eddie going. He got it, but he struggled.
Looks like Luke is looking slightly better.
So that was the 4th rep on the 200 kilo stone. Luke got the next one. It sounds like Luke's doing it quite quickly. That was the 5th rep. Can Eddie return it? It's a long 20 seconds, isn't it?
Yeah.
Waiting. Very fast 20 seconds.
I think they have got a certain amount of time. How long is the time they have to lift the stone?
20 seconds.
Is that all?
Yeah. It's really not long when you're exhausted.
Yeah, when that kind of fatigue really starts to kick in and the lower back's cramping up, the biceps are cramping up.
Eddie went to the whistle.
Does he get it or not? We've got to wait and see.
Did he get it?
We'll wait and see.
Oh, my goodness.
Deep breaths, people. Deep breaths.
Oh. What happened?
We're waiting.
Oh. I've got a feeling he didn't return it, but I
don't want to say until we know.
No.
But yeah, we will wait and see. It looks like Luke might have got through.
Luke through. Eddie went to the whistle. Right. Okay. There you go.
Well done, Luke Stoltman. So Luke Stoltman has made it into a final once again.
Yeah. There we go.
And he did that as the 3rd place.
Yes, right? He did. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
In that respect,
congratulations to Luke Stoltman. He's made another final. Good battle there by Eddie. And yeah, Eddie's really, really impressed.
He has.
He's been very good. He can hold his head up high, be super proud of himself. But Luke Stoltman and Tom Stoltman are in the final
again. There we go. First happened in 2019. Luke didn't make the final in 2020, but he's made it every year since.
Imagine being their dad. And how proud he is.
I know. And Ben, their dad, is so lovely as well. Yes. So really nice family. Genghis, thank you for the super chat. Been very nervous for this moment as someone who had just lost toes to a stone training accident. Oh my goodness. Luckily, these guys are much more talented.
Do you know what? I've seen people lose fingers and teeth. I haven't seen anyone lose toes before.
Oh, that sounds awful. I'm sorry that happened to you. I remember when Andrea lost some of her tooth. I ended up carrying it around in my handbag for her. She face planted it because she got stuck to it. It's dangerous.
They are
nasty, but we hope you're doing much better now.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Big Bang Theory. Hey, this is my t-shirt designer. There we go. Thank you for the super chat. Crowder, Francis, and Nana all failed to lift the stone, which puts Rauno on the stone in the stone arm. Glad the shirt made an appearance. Hey, there is still hope. You never know. Oh, don't. Goodness me. Right. Just catching up because we want to be up to date with you guys as much as possible in the comment section. Chris, thank you for the super chat. Luke and Tom on video doing a 180 for 20 reps. Those guys are great stone lifters.
They are indeed.
Luke couldn't ask for a better training partner when it comes to stone than Tom Stoltman.
Both are great stone lifters. I mean, you know, we all know how good Tom is, but Luke I've seen do fantastic performances on stones before.
Yeah. Grant, thank you so much for becoming a member. Plot twist. Eddie Williams wins World's Strongest Man. Aaron, thank you for the super chat. Liz, could you outlift the average man
in squat, bench, deadlift?
Me? No. God, no. No, I couldn't. No. But thanks for thinking I might be able to. No, I couldn't. I could outlift a weak man. Am I stronger than any of your weakest men?
No.
Oh, no. How sad for me.
Certainly not a bench press.
Take bench press out of it.
No, you're not stronger than any of them.
Oh, there you go. And that is the disadvantage of being a woman, I guess. Patrick, thank you for the super chat. Love the channel as always. Loz, how come some guys don't get a power belly when lifting heavy and some power lifters are ripped? Eating too much?
Yes. Food.
There you go. Too much. Lots of support for the guys in the comments. Doing interviews now, cool. Which is the perfect time for us to get caught up with you guys. Koa, so, let's go.
Luke is going to be super happy to make it into that final.
Yeah. Oh, man. That one isn't a surprise to me, to be honest. I expected Luke to
I thought Luke was going to win the group, if I'm honest.
Yeah, we did.
You know, the surprise for me was Tristan, how well he did.
Yeah.
And how competitive Eddie was. I actually, I thought, although I knew Trey wasn't at his best, I thought Trey would still do enough to get into a stone off and probably get through on a stone off.
Yeah.
So this group's been a big surprise, but it's not a surprise to see Luke in the final. He's been looking in really good shape this year.
Yeah.
And I think he'll be a bit more relaxed now that he's in the final. Can take that pressure off and just give them hell.
Yeah. Oh, dearie me. Yeah, so they're doing interviews right now. Lots of happy Stoltman fans in the comments. We are here and he made it. Let's go. People sat there on our stream. That's okay. Yeah, so Luke Stoltman lifted 9 stones.
Yeah, so Luke
Eddie
had
Williams
to do
8.
1 extra. That was the disadvantage. We didn't see anyone manage to come back from being in 3rd place last year. So straight away, we've seen a 3rd place finisher in the group. Technically 3rd place. They were tied on points.
They were. I mean, it's as close as it can be at that point, isn't it? Now, in the next group, actually, they closed the gap quite a bit because, they did close the gap. So Andre
because the top 2 didn't do anything.
On the car walk, Andre Foytu has a 2.5 point lead over Austin.
It doesn't matter at this stage.
No, it doesn't. No, except for the fact that Austin is going to have to go first. Yeah. Patrick. Oh no, we read that one, didn't we? That's about the too much food and the bellies. Yeah. Eddie Williams Shaw Classic invite incoming. I think we'll have to wait and see because there's only two spots
left. Yeah.
I can see Tristan Hof taking one of those, and I think that would be very deserved. Let's see who else makes it, but Eddie Williams, he's a very popular athlete. I could see him there. Spicy, so satisfying, says Julian. Go, Luke. Well played, Eddie. And then lots of comments like this.
There's a lot of chilies in the chat right now.
Never in doubt, Luke. It's always nice to see your favourite go through, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Strongest brothers in the world.
Unquestionably.
Yeah. LFG. So chuffed for them. Yes. Okay.
I wonder if Big Tommy was there cheering him on.
Oh, he would have been. Oh, yeah. You would have heard him in the background. Yeah, definitely. He's loud. Tom's not going to wait at the hotel, is he? How'd you get on, mate?
I know if it was the other way around, Luke would 100% be there. And to be fair, Tom made the travel to come down and watch him
at Europe. So, that was a nice surprise. He didn't tell anyone, did he? Which was nice. Don't believe there's another person in the world who knows as many. I do, and I know them.
Yeah, there's some that really do.
Yeah, Eloa Fournier is one of them. Colin Bryce. He's good.
Yeah.
If we were to do
older stuff.
Yeah. If we were to do like a strongman trivia quiz and we had to build a team, who would you put on the team?
I'd have you.
Yeah.
I'd have Eloa, definitely.
Yeah. So you can have 2 more people.
There'd be people that people don't really know. Because like a lot of the athletes don't have a clue.
Especially the newer generation of athletes.
Like some of them have no idea at all. But there's certainly people that know a lot about the sport.
Yeah.
There's quite a few.
Pick 2 more teammates. Go on, Lozzie. It's fun. Mark Williams?
No, he knows a lot about the old stuff, not so much about newer stuff.
You know a lot of the old stuff, so you could cover that area.
Dale? He knows a lot.
Okay. 3D Strength Dale.
Yeah, yeah, he's just a huge fan of the sport as well.
There's someone like JF. JF knows a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah, Jeff knows a lot. Yeah, he does.
Magnus,
he'd
be good.
Magnus doesn't know as much about some of the other stuff going on, but he's certainly, got great knowledge.
Where are we? Lots of celebrations.
Strongman historian seems to know a lot. Let's get him on the team.
Oh, there you go. There's 2 strongman historians.
Is there?
Yeah.
Are they battling each other?
I think there's
Is there a strongman historian battle going
on? Going on. I don't know.
I didn't know that. I just thought there was one.
No, there's the strongman historian, and then there's one that's come up that I didn't recognize. The
Look
true
at this one.
strongman historian.
This is quite true, actually.
Does he remind people of Belsac? So young and strong. Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Even a little bit looks-wise as well. Yeah.
I hadn't thought about it until you mentioned it, but yes.
I really like Andre as well. You would never know he was 22. He's so smart and just, he's like light years ahead of his age. Yeah. I can see a huge future for him. But I am a little bit worried for him in this stone off. We will see.
I'm not so worried about him. Regardless of if he makes the final or not, he's got a bright future.
He's got,
100%. He's going to have learned so much from this experience.
Yeah.
That's not to say he's not going to get through to the final.
Yeah.
But already 22 years old at your first Worlds, doing amazing,
absolutely smashing it, doing really well. And he only officially qualified 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago at Europe's Strongest Man. So he's done very, very well.
Very.
I bought Cushy and the baby out. Baby Koa. Great showing from Eddie. Yeah.
Really good.
Really, really good.
The progress in his weaker events as well. That's what's impressed me.
Talking strongman with Derek Boyer, suggests Damon.
Derek, that'd be a good one.
Thank you for the super chat. I feel sad for Eddie. He was doing so well. It's always a shame.
That was a tough group.
It was a really tough group.
And maybe beforehand, people have said, "Oh, it's not who." Most strongman fans wouldn't have even known who Tristan was.
No.
Okay, he's won his last 2 comps. He won the Magnus for Magazine Classic, and he won one of the Champions Leagues recently.
Yeah,
but he's so new to this level that a lot of people would be like, "Who's this guy?"
Who? Yeah.
But
we saw that with Yako last year winning
we saw
Brian Shaw's group.
Tristan's into the final of World's Strongest Man. Let's see how good he does.
Yeah, and we really don't know how he's going to do, and that's what makes it so exciting. This new talent coming through. Like 2016, we had an influx of 15 new athletes, and it brought us Martins, who won his group that year, Konstantin Janasha, who made the final, and he placed 4th in the final.
So the next 2 are coming out
now.
Are
coming out. So this
Andre
is
and Austin.
Oh my goodness. Here we go. Very happy that Luke's got through. Excited to see more of Eddie this year, though. Yeah. What we've got here, Shade, thank you for the super chat. Now the question is, how much will lifting 9 stone set Luke back for the final?
That's what we have to wait and see.
Yeah,
we do.
It's definitely a disadvantage to have to do an extra event.
Yeah, of course.
And
it might not even affect him in the first few events of the final, but it may affect you because you've done that extra work. But in training, we've seen him do a lot more. So conditioning wise, he's been, preparing well for it.
Yeah. I guess these are people. Yeah, JF Karan to have on the team. I'd have JF. JF's good.
JF is very knowledgeable.
Mark Felix, is this a suggestion? Because I wouldn't have Mark.
No.
Dr. Bill is better at Highland Games.
Yeah, Dr. Bill knows certain older stuff, definitely.
Yeah. He knows the history. He's the historian, isn't he, when it comes to strongman and
Jan Todd as well.
Yes, very much so.
But again, Jan doesn't know so much about the newer stuff.
Yeah. Yes, Eloa is on board. There you go. You're part of the gang, mate. Right, they are starting. So Austin has to go first. Let's see how they do.
I said, I gave you a mention, but then apparently there's 2 of you. Which
he's the new one.
What? The imposter.
These strongman historians on Reddit going, that is not me.
Oh, that's too confusing for me, guys.
I know. We'll have to take you both.
This is why at least you guys know who I am.
Second stone done by both of them.
It's a great thing when you're not your own kind of person out there, you can say what you want.
Yeah.
When people know who you are, they'll come for you.
Yeah, I know. What a luxury to be
Yeah.
anonymous like that. Right, so it just says that they've both done the second stone. Let's see how this goes. Cousin Fred, thank you so much for gifting memberships, sprinkling memberships
Thank you
wherever you
very,
go.
very much.
They're on to the fourth stone, so both successfully lifted the third stone. Ooh. Chris, thank you for the super chat. Masterminded contestants and winners. Liz.
There is a video of me and Liz doing a quiz for Strongman Archives.
Yes.
And I want to point out that I won.
By 1 point. It was all about Loz's career, though, which
No,
seems like a disadvantage to me. But what was I going to say? Eloa, you could put together the quiz. You could be the quiz master to make sure it's super fair and quiz me and Loz on last stone for reps. Okay, so they both got all 5 stones.
Awesome.
And now they're on to the 200 stone. Yes. Oh, I'm nerve-wracking. I thought I was doing all right for 22. And you probably are.
Toby, you're doing amazing.
This is a big exception to the rule. Both 1 rep with the 200 kilo stones.
Everyone progresses at different pace as well. That's an important factor. You know, Andre is awesome and I expect him to go on and do great, but he has to keep progressing.
Yeah.
We've seen amazing 19-year-olds at World's Strongest Man that by 25 were finished. It's, you know, being good at a young age does not mean you become the next World's Strongest Man. But I love his attitude and I think he's got a very bright future. Okay.
For to return to the second rep, so that's lift number 7. So now Austin is going for lift number 8, which is the third rep on the 200 kilo stone. Austin gets it. Can Andre return it again? My goodness. People seconding Jan Todd. I'd have Jan on my team, definitely. If it comes to the older stuff, especially, she's so knowledgeable.
She is.
Oh no, 42 out. Couldn't return it. This is what we suspected was going to happen. Yeah. But very happy for Austin. We absolutely love him.
Austin.
Really happy for him at his first World's Strongest Man to make the final. But sad for Andre. He knows what he needs to work on, though, doesn't he? Because he's so damn strong and
so good at everything else. He's doing amazing. And like I said, 22 years old.
Yeah.
But yeah, Austin, super impressive earlier last year when we saw him in Cardiff, wasn't it?
Yes, very late call up there. Excited to see him in the final as well.
And he's got events he could do some damage in.
Yeah, he has. Lots of support for Foytu in the comments here. Why don't Stockmans have Scottish flags? All of the like Scotland, Wales, England, and I guess if we had a Northern Ireland athlete, they all compete under the Union Jack. It's been that way for quite a few years. Didn't used to be.
No, it wasn't always the case.
I'm not sure exactly what point it changed and why, to be honest, but
that's something you need to ask Colin. He would know the answer to that.
He would know the answer, and that's why he'd be good in your trivia quiz.
Yeah.
People not
Gillingham
feeling
brothers, they're very knowledgeable, the Gillinghams.
Yes, yeah.
Brian Shaw certainly knows a lot about the sport.
Yeah. Yeah, Brian would be a good one. There's a lot of people you could have on a trivia team, to be fair. Yeah.
There's so many people that know so much.
Bish was doing so well. Yeah, Bish unfortunately was. He's out with an injury, but we wish him all the best. Austin's really good at stones. Yeah, Austin's a great stone lifter.
I believe Austin was doing like 180 stones for 20 reps in training as well.
Yeah, everyone watched that Brian and Rauno Slugfest last year, and it's like, shit, I better train some more stones. Brave showing from Andre, 100%. He's done so well. 22 years old, first World's Strongest Man, qualified 2 weeks ago. Very good. Okay. Yeah, this must be the first Mexican in the final for World's Strongest Man. He's representing Mexico.
He is representing Mexico.
Yeah, and he is. He just definitely is.
He has to be.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, because the only other, Gabe Pena was the first guy to represent Mexico. So he is. Yeah, there you go. Very nice.
The Mexican living in the USA.
Yeah, and so that's the second upset, technically, another third place, overtaking second place. Because that was kind of an argument for the stone off last year. Well, to be fair, everyone who was in second still got through to the final, but we haven't seen that yet, and we're 2 groups in. Group number 3 is going to be Ivars Schmutzlis versus Thomas Evans. Thomas has to go first.
Yeah, this is heartbreaking, really, because Matt Ragg won the group. Excellent. Gets through.
Yeah.
Adam Bishop is in second place and has unfortunately picked up an injury in the last event, the car walk, which means Ivars now, obviously was still going to do the stones, but he bumps up to second place. And Thomas Evans, who's in fourth overall, is coming in to do the stones as well.
Yeah. You wouldn't have Eddie Hall in your strongman trivia team. No, I wouldn't. No offense to Eddie, but no, definitely not. Shade, thank you for the super chat. I'm predicting no one in second makes it through. No, I think Ivars will make it through.
Ivars technically isn't in second, so
no,
he's right.
He's third.
He'll be right in this.
Yeah.
Then who have we got? I think Pavo.
I think
has
Pavo
a good
makes it
chance.
through as well. He's in second place, and Wesley. I think Wesley makes it through against Yako.
Dear.
Yeah. Wesley came second on the stones at OSG, finishing them. When Yako did the OSG stones, he only got 3.
Wow.
Or 4 out of 6.
Okay. We'll see.
But
certainly already.
It's an interesting prediction. We will see how it pans out. Come back to us later, Shade. He's a Texan. He is.
He is indeed a Texan.
He's representing Mexico.
He is indeed a Texan.
That's why I try and say his surname as Spanish as possible. Zach, thank you for the super chat. Do you think the strongest man on earth will overtake World's Strongest Man as the main comp to win at some point? If so, how long do you think it would take?
Hard to say. Like at one point I was like, no, it's impossible for anyone to take over Worlds. With the way things have changed, just the way people watch things, I don't think it's impossible for other shows to overtake. But how long these things, it depends. Like World's Strongest Man have all the tools to make sure they stay as the number one. Yeah. I think they need to listen to the feedback. If all they care is about a TV show, then that's fine. But the sport is growing massively. And I think there's more opportunities for athletes now, and not just Brian's comp. Plenty of the Giants Live comps are absolutely fantastic. The Arnolds, the Rogue Invitational, the Shore Classic, obviously. There's also Champions League and other shows that go on. So there's a lot more opportunities for strongmen. And we're even seeing some strongmen that deciding not to do World's Strongest Man, which I think is a shame, but I understand why. Yeah. And I think worlds have to look at this and say, right, we've got to do what we can to make this the best competition. If they don't do that, then yes, these other competitions can overtake them.
I think what it would take, though, is for one, the athletes to stop caring about this. Mm-hmm. That would change things quite quickly. But I also think you'd need probably TV contracts, a big budget. Like if you think
you need someone that can come in with money.
Yeah, a lot of money as well, because Worlds costs about $1 million to put on each year. And you just think about, I could go out in the street in Britain and grab a random 60-year-old man and say, have you heard of the World's Strongest Man competition? Of course, I watch it every year.
Winning World's Strongest Man is way bigger in terms of opportunities for these athletes than winning any other competition. A good example of that is Trey Mitchell is a 2-time winner of the Shore Classic.
Yeah.
And the first time he won, literally, other than some hardcore strongman fans, nobody even knew. So,
and that's not a slight on the competition, but it just goes to show the difference.
I'm a big fan of what Brian does, but at the moment, Worlds is still creating the most interest worldwide to the greatest audience. But I hope they are looking at what these other shows are doing and, taking note and thinking, right, how do we make sure we are number one and we improve and be better? And if they keep making things better, then I'm happy. If they go backwards, I'm not happy.
Yeah.
And other shows will catch up. And I want all these shows to get bigger and better, actually.
Spaz. Though controversial, this sure is hella exciting. It is. It's undeniable. It is. But I think it's the tension of not watching it is actually sometimes more exciting, which is stupid. Mitchell, thank you for the super chat. Missed the start, unfortunately. It seems like Luke is through, but please confirm it before I have a heart attack and poo comes out.
Yes, so group number one winner was Tristan Tristan Hoth. And Luke Stoltman beat Eddie Williams in the Stone-Off.
Yes. In group number 2, group winner was Mitch Hooper, and Austin has just beaten Andre in the Stone-Off. Next up is going to be Aivars versus Thomas Evans. Let's see how that one goes. So, yeah, please keep your heart attack and poo to yourself. Luke's in. Oh, where are we? Lightning Bear Film Productions. Where's your comment? Lozzie is going to look for it because sometimes it's easier to find it on there, isn't it?
I think it was just a sticker.
Oh, okay. Thank you for the super sticker. Super sticker? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
If Ivers looks sleepy, it's all over for Thomas, yeah. Ivers has been tired since this morning. Ivers is always tired. Where are we? I mean, people are saying World's Strongest Man is already behind me, but you're here watching this, commenting, listening for results.
World's Strongest Man is still the biggest.
Yeah,
show.
it's undeniable that it's still the biggest show. I think it's lost a lot of flavor with Strongman fans, but in terms of the general casual public fan,
but I think they can get them back as well.
I think so.
I think
they
if
just
they
have
are
to implement
listening,
the changes.
Yes, and that's why I'm vocal, and that's why you guys have to comment, because World's Strongest Man need to see the suggestions and take note, hopefully. But Worlds is still the biggest, without question.
This random comment without any context: Eddie Hall versus Brian Shaw in a fart off. Oh, just to change the subject slightly. Chris, thank you for the super chat. World's Strongest Man in Scotland 2025. It's never been held here.
It's not. And there'd be a massive crowd for something like that. You could sell out a stadium easily.
It hasn't been in Europe since 2009 when it was in Malta.
I know people like World's Strongest Man haven't sold out for today and yesterday. They have sold out for the final.
Yeah.
They could easily have sold out.
Yeah.
If they pushed it. Giants Live have sold out the Strongman Classic, which isn't even for another month yet.
Yeah.
In fact, Giants Live have sold out every comp they've put on this year so far.
We're going to get a call for the next one. So we're going to be able to watch, hopefully. That would be nice. How heavy is the stone? So it's 6 different stones that they have. This first one is 140 kilos. The last one is 200 kilos. And they have to rep the last one backwards and forth to failure until someone's out. Hope Bish is okay. Let's go, Thomas. It's like shops that don't have a web shop. Yeah. Got this, Thomas. Let's go. Let Ivers take puffs of his cigarette in between stone lips. I need oxygen.
It's amazing how he does it.
I don't know. Oh. How is World's Strongest Man the biggest show? Because it's got the biggest title that all the
biggest
men
audience.
want.
It's got the most people
millions
talking
of people.
about it on the internet when it comes round. And look, I want all the shows to be bigger and better. And I'm not saying they can't overtake, but as it stands, World's Strongest Man is by far the biggest.
There's a doggy under my feet. I just felt her. Whoops. Yeah, I think World's Strongest Man is for sure the biggest, not necessarily the best.
No, I'd agree.
Yeah,
I'd agree. And like I said, I think they can make it the best, but they need to listen.
Would 100% be there if it was in the UK.
Absolutely.
Do strongmen like indoors or outdoors competitions?
I like both. Obviously, it sucks competing in rain and horrible conditions. So I think, especially in countries like the UK where weather isn't so easy to predict, and often it's not great weather. Indoors is better, but there's something nice about competing outside on a nice day.
It is lovely, outdoor competitions. Bron Chop saying their social media was really poor. They could have sold out their tickets.
Yeah, someone said they haven't even got close to selling out Vegas, but Vegas isn't for months. Let's remember. And
Giants Live have sold out every show this year so far, and they've even started. I love
how everyone, well, not everyone, like a small minority of people always look for the negative. Like, Giants Live has sold out Europe's, they sold out Britain's, and they've sold out the Giants Live Strongman Classic, which hasn't happened yet. they're doing okay.
Yeah, I think they're doing okay.
And what I'm saying what I'm trying to do is compare if World's Strongest Man put more focus on their media and did it a bit earlier, I think they could have sold out the first 2 days for Worlds.
Definitely. The athletes are just walking out onto the stage now, probably just do a little bit of headshot filming before they start. Grant, thank you for the super chat. Do you think a Netflix show following the athletes would help promote the sport? I think
It
Netflix
could well
buying
be
it would
huge,
be
you know,
huge,
yeah, something like that. Netflix getting involved would be massive for the sport.
Yeah.
And that's when someone like Worlds would be in trouble if they weren't involved with that, because that could really, really like elevate it.
Ivars smoke Stellis. The audience is the biggest because of the TV coverage. So in the UK, it gets millions and millions of views a year. None of the free live streamed competitions or pay-per-view competitions are getting those sorts of views.
World's Strongest.
And it's like, it's not even close, to be honest.
So we have Aivars and...
What question has been repeated to you most this week? Is there a live stream? Has been the most...
What happened to Bobby? Has been
What happened to
repeated a lot.
Bobby? Yeah. Now, what happened to Bish as well? What happened to Gav? Yeah. Okay. Ivars on this side.
Ivars against Thomas Evans, right?
Yes. Thomas has to lift first.
Okay.
So they're just about to start. Do a play-by-play, full commentator mode.
Okay, you watch the comments. I will give us some running commentary.
I'll control the chat.
Thomas Evans looks raring to go. He's just waiting for the off. And the whistle goes. Thomas Evans slipped, actually, then. Oh, he's up to his lap now. First stone. I'm going to be honest, this is not the best attempt by Thomas Evans there on that.
No,
he made a bit of a hash of it, but he's done it. Ivars pretty comfortably throws it back. So they move to the next stone. This is a very different thing that you notice with the stone like this. No one's rushing. Thomas Evans is just taking his time. Maybe taking too much time.
Oh, he just dropped it.
Just dropped it. He tried to literally pull it up to his lap and it slipped down. Not sure if he's got some kind of tacky issue going on, whether it's the humidity, but that's it.
It's over. Wow.
Ivars only had to lift 140 kilos once. He's going to be over the moon.
Yes.
Because that is not going to take anything out of him.
No.
And Ivars has made it through to the World's Strongest Man final, which is great, you know.
Yeah, we're happy for Ivars.
But yeah, that was not good by Thomas Evans.
No, it wasn't.
That's the first group that didn't manage to get to the 200 kilo stone.
Yeah, not even close to the 200 kilo stone.
I'll be honest, like the first stone didn't look great. But yeah, congratulations, Ivars. Happy to see him get through.
Oh, Tom may have an issue with his bicep.
Hopefully that's not the case.
No, hopefully not. There we go. Congratulations, Messrs. Sent. So that one was over quite quickly.
Very quickly.
Next up is going to be Marcus Crowder versus Pavlo Cordiaca.
This could be a good one.
Yeah.
This could be a very good one.
There we go. All right, where are we? This super chat from Johnny. Thank you, Johnny. Lars, can you talk about what it's like to coach a world champion? That's a mountain peak very few coaches ever get to look down from.
Oh, it's obviously a privilege to work with world champions. I'm lucky enough to coach a number of world champions, actually, in different classes. And it's weird. Like, I think because I had a successful career, I've never my goal is always, I care about the person more than them winning, firstly. So making sure that they're happy with what they're doing, they enjoy what they're doing, and that they're as healthy as possible, and, you know, putting themselves over winning is important to me as a coach. But it never means we don't want to win. I think that's sometimes people confuse that with, you know, oh, he doesn't want it enough. Yeah, it's strange. I'm super proud of so many of my athletes, and for so many different reasons. But it was special to see Mitch win last year. And I feel I have helped Mitch a lot, especially fast track him in a lot of ways. Mitch is an incredible athlete. There's no denying that. But I think my experience has helped fast track him through a number of things to understand how the sport works, like behind the scenes. Tactically, I've certainly been able to help him. just from a lot of the mistakes that I've made in the past, he's been able to avoid. So yeah, I do think I've helped in a decent way, but it's just enjoyable watching these guys, sit back. I mean, I coached 3 disabled world champions, which is unbelievable. I coach Andrea Thompson, who's been a world champion before. I coach some weight class athletes that are there or thereabouts. It's fun.
Stephen, thank you for the super chat. If World's Strongest Man put it on anywhere in the UK, they could sell out an entire football stadium or arena, as long as it's not that shower in Manchester, all 4 event days without any real advertising. Honestly, I think they could sell out in the USA if they advertise it.
I think the advertising is important.
Yeah.
It should be very important, to be honest, because we are still a niche sport, but we have showed that there's huge interest. We've got, Strongmen with YouTube channels over 1 million subscribers. World's Strongest Man's own channel, I think, has over 1 million. Obviously, Giants Live. Eddie Hall, Brian Shaw, Stoltmans and Mitch Hooper are doing amazing. Our own channel has 152,000 subscribers for a strongman channel. That's great. So the sport is growing, and we've just got to make sure all these comps get bigger, and World's Strongest Man can be the driving force of that. And if they don't want to be the driving force, then everyone else just has to keep pushing. Whether it's Brian or whether it's the Arnolds or whether it's Rogue or whether it's Giants Live, we're all going to keep pushing. I want the sport to be bigger, which means I want Worlds to be bigger. I want the Short Classic to be bigger. I want the Giant shows to be bigger, etc., etc., etc. I want the sport to be more popular. I want the athletes making more money. I want our channel to have 1 million subscribers. I want the World's Strongest Man channel to have 10 million subscribers, and because it trickles down, and the athletes will get more fans watching them. Athletes like Mitch, who go and collab with other people, can pull more people in. We know how, we'll sit here and there'll be people watching this feed that have come here because they've seen Thor Bjornsson, or because they've seen Eddie Hall, or because they've seen Brian. They'll have liked their personality, it'll have drawn them into the sport, and then they've become fans of the sport. Yeah. So all these things are positives, and I want it to just keep getting bigger and better.
There you go. Well done. What was the distance on the car walk? It was 20 meters. Yeah. £1,000 car. B&M, thank you for the super chat. The world needs a strongest woman on earth competition at Short Classic, or world's strongest woman Arnold.
So there is going to be a women's class at the Short Classic. It's at the moment, it's like the men's open.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be like the pro. No, as a standalone thing.
It's not like a female version of the men's pro show.
It'll go on through the day, but I believe there's a heavyweight class and a lighter weight class.
Yes, that's right.
I know because I've got a couple of athletes that are competing in there, and they've their training is focused on that right now.
The Short Classic as
it's doing good things.
Yeah, it's growing a lot.
Brian's also spoken about a disabled class as well, so
which would be great.
He's made it bigger and better every year, and if he continues to do that, it's just good for the sport. And we will be supporting the Strongest Man on Earth. I think it's a great event. We'll probably be doing a watch along. We'll put news videos up about it. We'll try and promote it. And I hope it does fantastically well. Yeah. I try and avoid these battles that some people seem to have with hating on one comp and, supporting another. What's
really important to remember is that if one competition fails completely, it's bad for the whole sport. Oh, look, there's Rauno. If World's Strongest Man goes down, the sport shrinks massively in terms of the amount of people it reaches, the amount of fans it has. So it's not good. We want it to get better. A rising tide raises all the ships with it.
Absolutely. Rauno said it wasn't a problem with his biceps. It was
bad tacky. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. I would rather it be that, even though it would be very frustrating.
Just looking at the way he was doing it, it looked like he was slipping.
Yes.
Yes. So yeah, I'm glad he's okay.
There we go.
And give Aivars
a cuddle from us.
Well, yeah.
Well, a back slap from Lars and a cuddle from. Well, Rauno's not got a cuddle Aivars. What am I saying?
Say well done to him.
Yeah, he might. You never know.
I'm glad Aivars has made the final.
I am as well.
He's such a good strong man.
Yeah,
and he'll be happy to make.
He'll be saying, "Fuck, now I have to do more events." No, he'll be thrilled.
Yes.
Aivars was talking about retiring, and we're like, absolutely not.
Way too good to be retiring. Yes, Luke Stoltman has gone. He is into the final. For those that haven't seen, Luke won the stone off against Eddie.
Yeah.
And then
Austin.
Austin Andrade won the stone off against Andre Foytu. And we've just had Aivars beat
Thomas Evans. There
There
you go. So next up is going to be Marcus Crowder versus Pavo Cordiaca. Here we go. So far we have 1 Canadian, 1 Brit, 1 Canadian, 1 Mexican, 1 New Zealander, 1 Latvian, 1 American, and 1 Brit. So we only have 1 American in the final so far. The only other chance is if Marcus Crowder beats Pavo Cordiaca.
That's insane.
That's a shock to me. Yeah. I'm going to have to do some stats and facts. Eloa, are you still there? When was the last time we only had 1 American in the final? It must be such a long time ago because Brian was in every final since 2009.
Yeah.
Before that, you had Phil Pfister. What's his name? Oh, God, it eludes me.
Derek
Poundstone. Dave.
Osland.
Yes, Osland. That's it. I couldn't think of his surname. Jonathan, thank you for the super chat. Do you think World's Strongest Man is only as far ahead of the other comps due to its history? Shore Classic is an infant by comparison. Yeah, a lot of it is the history.
Very much so.
Yeah. It's a huge part
also,
of it.
A lot of it is the name.
Yeah.
World's Strongest, like, I see it as a sport. I don't really care about the title of who's the strongest, but the title does matter. Especially for sponsor stuff. Like if you say you're the Arnold Classic champion, it's not the same as saying you're the world's strongest man.
And Brian's been very smart in that respect, getting the strongest man on earth title. That is definitely going to help him. But it'll be interesting to see how it evolves because right now it feels like with it being like a sports festival, Brian is building his own version of the Arnolds.
Yeah.
So will new sports be introduced to that? We saw arm wrestling there last year. I don't know if there were other things going on, but it's exciting.
He's growing it, and it's a good thing.
In 2020, he did it in his gym because of COVID. So look how far it's come in just 4 years.
I think something that is important to understand, and I really respect what Brian's done, but Brian shouldn't also forget that without World's Strongest Man, he wouldn't be where he is. And I'll put myself in that category. And I have issues with World's Strongest Man, especially big issues back then. But if I never had the opportunity to compete in World's Strongest Man, I wouldn't be here now.
Yeah.
So we need to sort of remember that, and hopefully World's Strongest Man can grow.
Yeah.
If he's not willing to grow, then other comps will take over.
World's Strongest Man was the competition that inspired Brian, you, Zadrunas, Marius, etc. to get into the sport.
It's what all of us looked at as the ultimate, thing we wanted to win.
Lucas, thank you for the super chat. When does World's Strongest Woman take place? It seems like a lot of competitions seem to have the women and men competing during the same weekend.
So World's Strongest Woman currently is at official Strongman Games, which is happening in December this year.
Yeah. Very late in the year this year. So late that we can't go. Rude. Marina Del Rey, thank you for the super chat. US is massive. Harder for fans to get across the country than in the UK. Much more money too. Took me 15 hours to get to shore and couldn't do it again. Yeah.
And I totally agree. And this is why I said to Liz earlier in another live stream, they have to start advertising much earlier so that people have time to make plans to either make a holiday of it or to arrange being able to come, because it's too big a country to just think I'm going to go on a whim.
Yeah.
Whereas in the UK, we're a much smaller country. You can drive 4 hours and you're pretty much at most places, let's say 6 hours.
You're going to be at least halfway there usually.
You know.
Unless you're Shane or the Strongmans. But they live in the extreme opposite ends of the country. I don't understand this one, Chris, but thank you for the super chat. When we see in the same coverage of World's Strongest Man to be WSF. What's WSF?
Don't know.
No. Don't abbreviate. I'm not good with abbreviations.
Sorry, Chris.
What is it? I don't know what it means. I'm sorry. Oh, speak for yourself.
I'm old and haven't got a clue what you're on about.
Sway Station, thank you for the super chat. Who may be the podium surprise outside of the Hoop, Stoltman, Singleton, Rag predictions? Hope, I think.
I don't see any.
I don't see there being a surprise. I think it will be Tom, Mitch, and Evan, personally, with who knows? I need to study. Oh, they're up. Who is this?
I don't know.
Marcus versus Pablo. So
yes.
Marcus had to lift first.
Yeah, Pablo's on the other side.
Yeah.
I think. No.
No, Pablo's this side.
Yeah.
There you go. So
Marcus versus Pablo.
Yeah. Both done the first stone. Moving on to stone number 2.
Marcus gets it no problem.
Yeah, nice and easy. Pablo's turn. Pablo had an epic stone off with Maxime Boudreau
That's a tough
2
man to be
years
going
ago.
against.
He lifted 10. He did 10 reps
Yeah.
before failing.
Maxime is a
tough
great
one
stone
to go
lifter.
against, yeah.
But he has lost a stone off before to Tom Stoltman.
To
obviously.
Tom, yeah. Worst person to be in a stone off with. Marcus gets the third one. Pablo lapped it. Returned.
No problem.
Easy.
So they move on. Is this 160, did you say, or 180?
So the fourth one is 180.
Okay.
They have 2 180 stones, and then they get onto the 200.
So he's up to his lap. Just sat down in the lap position. He drives up over, no problem.
Nice and easy still.
Pavlo is wrapping around the stone, gets up to the lap, extends, very easy. Real good lift there by Pavlo.
Pablo's looking very snappy here.
Pavlo's height is probably a small advantage here.
Yeah.
He's not having
He's
to
very
kind of-
tall.
yeah. Marcus is really kind of having to get that stone up on his chest, where Pavlo's more sort of hip height.
So Marcus
gets this over.
Yeah.
This is the second 180 stone.
Okay, so stone number 5. Pablo's lapped it.
No
Returns.
problem.
Nice
and they move
easy.
on to the 200 kilo stone, 440 pounds.
There we go. Marcus.
So Marcus just rolling the stone into position.
Taking his grip.
He's up to his lap. Adjusting his grip. Can he get it over? He's struggling.
Ooh, it's gone down. No.
He's not going to do it.
No. He's run out of
And
time. He's
Pavlo
out. Yeah.
Cordiaca is into the final.
Well done, Pablo.
Yes. Pavlo, like, he deserves this.
I felt bad for Pablo.
I thought these events were going to be tough for him.
Ooh.
And he's done really well he's finished strong, to be fair.
Yeah.
He had that bad first 2 events.
Pablo
But
could
since
be
then-
your surprise on the podium. I don't expect him to be there, but he has some excellent events in the final.
Yes.
Yeah, so-
Pavlo's someone that I thought, when I saw the events, I thought maybe he doesn't get through the heats.
But
If
could
he
do
gets
great.
into the final, he could do well. He's a good thrower. He's amazing at the cone and circle.
Yeah.
I think the axle suits him way more than a Viking press.
Yes, definitely.
I think he's
I
got
think
that explosive,
he
like
could
jerk type technique.
He could do well on the Giants medley. He's a great thrower.
Yes,
He could do really well, actually.
He's got some events he
Yeah.
can do very well at.
Aaron, thank you for the super chat. What does the payout look like for athletes at World's Strongest Man? Do they pay everyone something, and do they cover flights and rooms?
I have heard rumors that certain things were cut back on.
Oh, really?
I don't know how true that is, but I can go on what I've experienced myself.
Yeah.
Flights for me were always paid for. If I wanted Liz to come, we would have to pay that ourselves.
Yeah.
Obviously, she could stay in my room, so we wouldn't have
Room
to
is
pay
covered.
the room.
Yeah.
However, Liz would have to pay for her food. My food was provided for 3 meals a day. Were provided for.
Do you know what? That was always a rule, but I only ever remember paying for meals in 2014 in that Commerce Casino.
Some places were more strict than others
Yeah.
about kind of enforcing it.
But every single person gets paid, including the reserves.
Yeah.
I think the reserves.
It's not a huge amount. Like
the reserves get like $1,000 just for being
possibly.
there.
I can't remember what it is right now. But like, if you don't make the final, the money is nothing special at all. to be
No,
quite
but
honest.
although it's gone up a lot since you
It
used
has
to
gone up a lot.
compete,
Yeah. I mean, the prize money in general has gone up a lot since I competed. When I competed and came 4th at World's Strongest Man, I got $4,500.
Yeah, no, it's totally
It's a lot
different to
more
that
than that
now.
now.
Yeah. But every single athlete, all 30 get paid, including the 2 reserves. Their travel, food, accommodation is all paid for.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no cost to the athlete.
Yeah.
There we go. What is that question? Let's see.
So we now have 9 of our 10 finalists.
We do. There's only 1 left. Liz, sorry you can't marry me this year. Hope for next year. Sorry, Fred. I'll put these rings back on. Thanks, Lottie. Yeah, so that's it. Evan Singleton is going to be the only American in the final. Wow. Eloa, where are these facts and stats?
I told you Bobby would throw it to keep you married to me.
There you go.
Wasn't
Bobby and
really
Marcus. Keeping Auntie Liz safe. Oh dear.
He's going to remind this every year, I think. And there's going to be one year where there's 3 really good Americans competing.
Lots of be sweating bullets. Oh. Good on you, Loz. Stay humble. Don't know what that was in reference for. World's strongest
World's
fembot.
strongest female.
Well, female. Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I
Now
think
I can't remember the
We just call
question.
it World's Strongest Woman.
Yeah, WSW. Yes. Yeah.
Maybe that's why I was confused.
That's definitely
I was
why
thinking
I was
it was
confused.
like World Strongman Federation or something like
World's
that.
strongest furry. Goodness me. Yeah, Pavlo got it. Scotty, is World's Strongest Man's lack of change complacency or arrogance? I don't think it's either, actually.
I don't think it's either.
I think it's barriers.
I think the main problem is it's a huge company that own it that cannot make changes quickly. Everything takes time, and things start to improve, and then people's positions in that company move. We've had Mitch Ladner in the chat. Mitch Ladner was working for World's Strongest Man, and he was making some huge changes. We really saw a lot of progress.
Yeah.
And
even though
unfortunately,
he was a bit polarizing.
we
liked him though.
Yeah, very much.
We saw what he was doing.
You could see that he cared,
Yeah.
and he really showed interest in the sport, and he understands the sport and was learning more and more about it. And you could see the effort that he was putting in to make these changes. But he was doing too good a job, and I think he got a new job.
Yeah, they bloody promoted him. So there you go.
Then someone else comes in that doesn't know anything about the sport and has to learn.
Sort
and
of starting all over again.
Yeah, and it's that cycle is always the same with the people that own World's Strongest Man.
Yeah, he's been listening to our live streams, by the way, so he sees these questions in the comments.
Pop up and say hello.
Yeah, he's sliding into my DMs, updating me on things that he knows are changing, and it does sound like things are working in the background. It's just not being communicated well. So hopefully that will change. Someone asking here, thank you for the super chat. Would Strongman benefit from a governing body?
This has been a question every year.
So IFSA kind of was that governing body, sort of, in a sense, the closest we've ever had, anyway.
Governing bodies, yes and no, I guess.
Yeah.
There's pros and cons.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So World's Strongest female. Yeah. Yeah, so it's called the World's Strongest Woman, and right now it's part of OSG. Thank
you, Tom. I actually don't feel old at all, but when people talk in like weird abbreviations, I feel old.
And slang. Stuff like that.
Physically, I feel great. I feel better than I did when I was competing as a strongman. I feel younger. I've got more energy. I'm just old in terms of,
I like this comment about Pavlo. So handsome, such a fine it was people. I don't know if any of you have gone on the Strongman archives. You have to look at Marcus Crowder's picture. Have you seen it, Lazo? It's like very pouty, modelly.
Let's see.
Where is it? People are saying it's a battle of the handsomes.
Oh yes. It's got the lighting on him and everything.
I was going to say, yeah, I'm pretty sure his skin is airbrushed in that picture. It's so smooth. Never seen such a smooth man. Super smooth face on a strong man anyway. Oh dear. Liz, when are you going to host a Quake 3 tourney? What is that? What's a Quake 3 tourney?
Tournament of some kind. I don't know what a Quake 3 is.
Yeah. Is this meant for me? This question? I don't know what any of this means.
I told you guys, I don't understand.
Yeah, what are you asking us about now? Quake 3. Honestly, my Google history is a mess. 3 tournament. QuakeCon.
This is more Lewis.
Oh, it's like a gaming thing.
Yeah, Lewis
people wanted me to have a gaming channel, didn't they? I've never actually played this game, never even heard of it, clearly. Oh no, my games would be very old. I'm thinking things like Parappa the Rapper.
You'd need Lewis to educate you.
Maybe a couple of Roblox games that I play with the kids.
I'm still playing Snake and Tetris.
Loves it. Dennis, thank you for the super chat. 2002 final only had Johnny Perry. There you go. Oh, thank you so much, Dennis, for putting the legwork in for us then. 2002, so the first time in 22 years. Wow. There you go. I knew it would be quite significant because we've always had Americans in the final.
For a long time. There was a long time where there was no Americans. And it was all like Eastern Europeans dominating.
It's gone through phases as well in terms of like podium finishes and wins and stuff, definitely. What have we got? Will Mitch Hooper eventually go for the deadlift world record? And if so, do you think he can get it? Thank you for the super chat.
Mitch is keen to focus on the deadlift this year. So he wants to pull something big.
Problem is, though, it's kind of not long after the shore.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot
there's just
going
so
on,
much to
isn't
focus
there?
on, and his main focus is winning the major comps.
Mm.
He wants to win Worlds, he wants to win the Shore Classic, he wants to win Rogue, all in the same year.
He's managed one out of.
Well, he's won the Rogue
so
and Arnold's, but they weren't in the same year.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking of 2024.
Yes, yeah.
So he won the Arnold's this year. He won the Arnold's UK.
The only major he didn't win last year was the Shore Classic.
Yeah.
He was second to Brian, obviously.
Yeah. Drew, thank you for the super chat. With how well the Canadians are performing, do you think that Giants Live will do another World's Strongest Nation and have a US versus UK versus
We've
Canada
said we'd
format?
love to see a Canadian team in that. Unfortunately, that event isn't happening this year.
No.
But who knows what will happen in the future.
It would be lovely to see it come back. I thought it was a really fun
the team.
show.
I find team comps quite good fun.
Yeah.
And I think it's nice for fans to get behind their nation, and it's just cool.
Liz, I would buy you a candy ring no matter what. Thank you, Cousin Fred. I will take the super chat money and get myself a gummy ring. There we go. Which would very quickly be eaten by the dog.
Well, hopefully not the dog.
Well, or by the child then. Robert, thank you for the super chat. They inherited TV deals. Change is slow. Yeah. The change can be very, very slow.
Yeah.
Pete.
They're often contracted to a certain amount of time, aren't they?
Yeah. 7 out of 10 finalized, the same as 2023. What's this in reference to?
I don't know.
Explain, Pete. I don't want you to have wasted your members' comment. Finalize. Same as
I don't know.
2023.
I don't know if he's replying to us or something else.
No, I don't know.
Oh, sorry. We are getting through these.
Oh, God, it's on. Bloody hell. Who is it?
The last two.
Oh, my goodness. Lars.
It's Yako and
Wesley Dawinski.
Wesley, yeah.
So Yako
Wesley's
is on the
this
far
side,
side. Yeah.
So Yako is lifting the last 180.
Yeah.
Wesley has to bring it back.
Deary me. Okay, it's happening.
Wesley gets it over. They move to the 200 kilo stone.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Luke won the stones in group 1 against Eddie, so he is through to the final. There you go. I'm just going to click on this and we'll get back to it.
Yako gets the 200, gets it over.
Looked a bit tough.
It did.
Oh,
but Wesley is
stealing himself.
He's up to his lap. Mm-hmm. Wraps round.
Ooh, strong hips. There we go.
Gets it over.
Nice. Yako has to return it. So just a reminder, Yako was 3rd place. So he's got the disadvantage here. To beat Wesley, he has to lift it one more time than him. Oh, Yako gets it over.
Yep.
So that was the 2nd rep for Yako on the 200 kilo stone. Lift number 7.
Wesley tried to pick it up. It slipped. Gets it this time to the lap.
On his lap. Only got 20 seconds.
Gets it over.
Oh, there we go.
So Yako needs to get it over again.
Mm-hmm.
He's just taking as long as he can. All right, hands wrapped round. Up to his lap, but struggling.
Oh, the hips are not
Tried to drive over, didn't go over. He's still got it on his hips.
Thrust, Yako.
He's close,
thrust.
he's close, he's close. He gets it over.
Oh, my goodness.
He gets it over. He had to work real hard for that.
Did.
Real hard.
Thrust, Yako.
Wesley actually looking better this time up to the lap. And he returns the stone. That was a better lift for Wesley than it was the one before.
What's happened? The stones rolled away.
Nope.
Now, Wesley will probably get
right. It's been rolled back for him.
For that. Now the time will start. It's been reset. Yeah. So I have been told that just to place it over, but it might have just got knocked and rolled away. I don't know.
So he's up to his lap again, but he's getting to that point where when you can see athletes are tired, they can't get their hands around it properly.
He can't do it. Yako can't do
it.
Which means Wesley is in the
through.
final.
We have 3 Canadians in the final.
My goodness. We will get to your super chat, but just a very quick recap then. Our 10 finalists for this year are Tristan Hoth, Luke Stoltman, Mitch Hooper, Austin Andrade. Oh, I'm messing it up more and more each time. Matt Ragg, Aivars Schmugstelis, Evan Singleton, Pavlo Kordiaka, Tom Stoltman, and Wesley Dawinski. What a great 10 athlete final.
It's going to be an amazing final.
Oh my goodness. Right, let's wrap up because now we need to film a prediction video.
We'll
do
that. We'll
do some predictions.
Sort these,
we'll sort you all out first.
sort these questions out first.
Aaron, thank you. I'm curious, is it more difficult for an athlete coming closer to 40 to develop more each year? I think of what Brian was able to do, but also Luke Stoltman struggling with deadlift, etc.
Yes, of course. It gets much harder to keep developing when you've been doing this for a long time. That doesn't mean if you're new to it, you can't develop. But if you've been training for 20 years and you're closing in on 40, your progress is going to be much slower. Thank you very much for the question. Let's quickly see if there's a couple more super chats I've got to get back to. Farmer Dave, thank you very much. What's the highest amount of people from one country? Oh, that's a good question. I mean, the highest amount of athletes we've had at World's Strongest Man is from America. Actually, the very first World's Strongest Man was all Americans, if you include the token Italian who lived in America. So yeah, some of the early World's Strongest Man shows were more America's Strongest Man. More modern times, there's been a few years where we've had quite a few good Americans competing. I think the most Brits we've ever had in the final is 3, I think. We may have had 5 Americans in modern time. I'd have to double check. But thank you very much. Patrick, 2004 was the last time there was no Americans. I was going to tell you 2002, but someone beat me to it. Okay, thank you very much. The Stoltmans are the UK reps. They are indeed. Stoltman brothers doing an amazing job. The Canadians, we've got 3 Canadians in the final this year. Thank you very much, Cousin Fred. Liz, buy a cheap ring and Holly some toys. That's very kind of you. I know we joke and stuff, but you have been a massive supporter of our channel, so thank you very, very much. Vin, add alternative choices to stone off, like dumbbell off or deadlift off. I've said this before. Why is it always stone off?
We like it to be a different event each year.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like I'd like them to get rid of it, but if they're going to stick with it, let's change the event so it's not always favouring just the good stone lifters. There's lots of ideas people have come up with and suggested, but yeah, absolutely agree with you. So what have we got? We've got 3 Canadians, 2 from Great Britain, 1 American,
1 from Ukraine, 1 from Latvia, 1 from Mexico, and that's it.
Yeah.
There we go.
The Mexican does live in Texas, but so maybe they can claim 2.
Rob got 5 of his 5 stone off predictions right.
Well done.
Yeah, I think all of mine were right as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
We had. Yeah.
I'm sure JF Cron is proud. So I'm glad to hear JF's there.
It's cool that he's out there.
Yeah. Cool.
Right. Is that us count up?
That is. Okay.
There we go.
Guys.
We know our finalists.
Yes. So we are now going to film our little wrap-up video, but also put our predictions in there for the final. We're going to have a think because some of these names are a bit new. Going to have to see.
There's a couple of surprises in there.
Yeah, it's exciting. Oh, we've got one late one coming through. But tomorrow we're going to put out a video looking at what if they all competed against each other. That's just a fun one that we like to do.
Now the New Zealander is in the final.
Oh, of course. Yeah, New Zealand. Sorry. Thank you for the super chat. Do you think the weightlifting technique with the axle, like Hooper does it, will become the new standard in the future since it's more efficient? There have always been guys that have done this. Raymond McManus, Mikhail Kuklayev. Like, people can either do it or they can't. It doesn't work for everyone.
Do you know, like not everyone can do it. That's a fact. I mean, people are going about Mitch's Olympic lifting technique. His technique is not that great when you look at an Olympic lifter. No. And a lot of it is just sheer leg power, but he's just trying to figure out the best way for him to be effective. Like Rob Kearney was good at jerking type technique, but you'll see guys like Tom Stoltman's great at axle, and he'll go with a good old-fashioned push press. Zadrunas was amazing at it, just push pressed. Ian Bibby's the best in the world at it. He just strict presses it.
Yeah.
So it depends on you as the athlete. A lot of smaller athletes are kind of more technical, use a lot more efficiency and leg drive. And specifically on the axle, it is beneficial. Doesn't always cross over, though, to some other events. So you've got to kind of be selective about those events and figure out what works best for you.
extra spicy final with both Stoltman brothers in it. Thanks, Lars and Liz. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you guys.
No
so
live
much.
stream tomorrow. It's Lewis's 15th birthday, so we're excited to be able to spend some
We
time
are
with the
going to spend
kids.
a day with the
and
family,
the dog.
but we
Yeah.
will be back on Saturday
yes.
for the final. Thank you once again all for the support. Please, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, give the video a like. Enjoy the day off tomorrow.
Yeah, catch up on
And
some sleep.
we'll see you guys on Saturday. Take care.
Yay. I was about to start clapping.